What's up, Union Arena players? This is Kyle D, better known as Universities, and this is the breakdown from Eggman's Win 5 boxes. And we got a little bit of a news for people that want to live stream on Twitch. So without further ado, let's get in the video and talk about it. So if you guys have been waiting long enough for the famous Union Arena tab, it's not the best we can work with, but Union Arena tutorial app is our place for now until they make a true tab for us to be able to be searched and everything like that. This might be what we have to work with. So if you are a live streamer and you want to play Union Arena, anything like that, this is going to be where we're going to be home for a bit. I know players have been like in just chatting or in the other sites, in which would be One Piece or some other Bandai game. Just trying to find a home for this game was a pain in the rear, but with some ingenuity and some chatting with the way to get this in, I kind of got it to appear for everybody. I know it's not the best way of doing it, and it was just the best way for now just to get us to play. So I kind of helped get this onto IGDP. So just getting the tutorial app, since it updates a starter deck every few sets, it just helps out. So I figured this would be the best way of going about it and making sure that we kind of had our home, that instead of just keeping everybody away from there. So if you guys like Twitch and you want to see streamers and stuff like that, or you're a streamer just tuning in, this is going to be where it's going to help. Now, we do have Eggman events. So Eggman events popped off like always. You know, Eggman events 5X. They had 106 players, 6 rounds of Swiss, best of 1. You know, we had plenty of lists. The top 16 were 5 purple code Gias, 4 blue JJK, 3 Hunter or Hunter Kurapika, 2 yellow Demon Slayers. We had 1 yellow JJK and 1 green code Gias. Total breakdown was 21 blue JJK, 16 purple code Gias, 15 purple bleach, 10 green Hunters, 9 yellow Demon Slayers, 7 purple Demon Slayers, 5 green code Gias, and 23 others. Means they didn't really just break it down even further. I mean, to be honest with you, I get what he was doing. He wanted to be first to post this as soon as possible on his repertoire. So it had to take some substitution. They'll probably update this later, just get the full archetype breakdown, and that'll be fine. But now, taking a look, first place was a Kento Namami list. So this one's a little bit different than I personally play, but they are playing the new Bara that is a restand act trigger, which is not a bad call, right? Makes you have better threats to deal with, especially if you have a body on board. It produces more blocks. A lot of people have a substitute to take out the Maki Zenin, which isn't bad. You know, double energy Nubara is not a bad thing for a 3 cost, right? So it's personal taste and what they want to do. You know, you have Kento Namami being Kento Namami. So yeah, we have plenty of targets, right? Now, we do have purple code Gias being purple code Gias. This deck is also playing Checkmate, which is an interesting card in its own right? So this ability to boost 2000 DP, and if you have a Lelouch on your field, it gains impact 1, means now your blocker 1 will instantly now check for 2 impact, because it's going to force the block and then lead to your opponent losing some, you know, life. So this becomes more devastating when the checkmate plus this Gurren is combined. I think it's a good, fun little tech, but will it actually stay long term? Probably not. Now, let's take a look at Sukuna. So Sukuna is the base deck that you kind of just know and love, right? You have 4 Inu, 4 Nubara, 4 Yuji, 4 Maki Zenin. This is kind of the ride and die thing, is either some players value it at 2, some valued it at 4, and it really comes down to speed and pace that you want to have Maki Zenin, right? Some even value it at 3. When I first built this list, she was at 3 in my list, but as you can see, Sukuna is just being Sukuna. Now we do have the Hunter Hisoka's in the list, plus Leorio and 3 Neon. They do have a decent amount, but the problem still falls into the category your life is in danger. You don't have a lot of great value in your triggers, and that's something to keep a watchful eye on. Now we do have Gawain, the purple code here. This one's focusing on 4 Gurrens in the force to block ones and 2 of this one, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because in the format we have a lot of 4Ks, and being able to force block and then impact is a lot more stronger Hisoka than anything else, right? So at the end of the day, this is great value because you get the damage anyway, and I think this is something to try out, right? Now we do have another Hunter Hunter. So this one is playing Killua here, which is not bad because Killua is a great removal card. And again, what have we said in the past about decks that can remove multiple ways? This one does matter, and Killua being able to pop most things because Kurapika's at 5k itself. The only thing it's not going to be able to kill in the future is going to be the bloody One Punch Man. Now we do have another Sukuna list. This one's commonplace. As you can see, they went with 3 Maki Zenin and 3 Gojo. You know, this is the kind of where, like I said before, some people value this and this kind of differently, and they're interchangeable, and players will choose that path for themselves. Now, taking a look though, we do have Gawain again. So this one's same thing. This one's on 4 force blocks. They are playing this Colin here to be able to search for their mechs. In the United States of Japan is at 4, but they are playing the Lelouch at this Lelouch that's double energy at a full playset. It's a when played minus 3000 DP, which combos in nicely to get rid of threats very comfortably, especially if you go Lelouch for 2 AP, then Gawain, and boom, you just cleared a 4K. Now we do have the Tanjiro list. A lot of players are waiting for this deck to be seen and showcased. So this one, I definitely agree with Jinyu here. This is a great card in my opinion, and even at 1, it's nullify impact, especially against mirror matches. Being able to nullify an impact for a turn can lead to being able for you to survive, but you know, can't be sidelined by abilities of your opponent's characters or event cards until the end of your next turn. So this basically has a solid, decent of protection that can lead to being some great value. I mean, the one big thing that you have to worry about is you have 4, 5, 6, 8 non-triggers. But if your triggers go off, you're in a good spot, right? So something just to keep a watchful eye on is just deck building in general, and I think we have some great things. They are playing the 2-cost AP color trigger Tanjiro, which makes a lot of sense, right? They want to have a Tanjiro that's going to do something, and this one being able to suspend 3000 DP on your opponent's front line, and then just being able to, if Rainbow Trigger happens, not a bad call. Now, we do have another Kurapika Hisoka. This is just basically what we've come to know and love, right? We have the same ratios that we've always had: 3, 5, 9, 12 non-triggers in the deck, which is a little bit high for a lot of decks, but it does what it wants. This deck is always going to be solid. Now, here's another famous one. They are playing the Bounce Nubara. I'm not a huge fan on Bounce Nubara. I get the combination between your Nubara plus Bouncer Girl equals out to being double energy, you know, draw discard, you filter faster, right? Not a lot of players will play this card. To be honest with you, you neg value at this point because a lot of players are just now going for speed, and that is play 0 cost, play 0 cost, play 1 cost, or 2 cost that's going to double energy generate. Right, in their first, like going first, that's the linear line of play. Going second is play 0/0, follow up turn is play 2 cost, and then play something else. So it just leads to being some choices here. Yes, I get the addition to going second. This card feels a lot better because at least, you know, or actually going first, you kind of just do a similar play, but you just lose out on playing that you would have just naturally got anyway. So, and just keeps bodies on board. I think she's also bad late game, which leads to issues down the road. But Shrine Sukuna, just goal is to get to finger. Now, we have Megumi. So Megumi is another deck that kind of been written off by a lot of players. This deck is quite fun, to be honest with you. They took one less Raid Megumi, but they are playing a full play set of Shadow Garden. The ability of this deck has to be able to use their Dog of Totality. Divine Dog of Totality. You know, as long as you have a black and white in trash, you're instantly gaining some values here. So I think at the end of the day, with the Divine Dogs being able to hit in and just get some damage in pretty well, especially with the restand sight, this Divine Dog being able to hit for 35 is ridiculously strong. So stuff like this matters in some instances, and it's really good to see a low ranking deck on a lot of people's radar, you know, actually do well and get higher than most players. Now we do have, no, get back here, rude. Now we do have the Lancelot combinations. They are playing Siegfried, but they have Suzaku's, Jeremiah's, as always. Again, Siegfried is a great option, especially if you can get to 5s. It's just being able to get your raids back, because again, this one will at least get you to spit the body back. They are playing 3 trailers. I'm not a huge fan on trailers, to be honest with you. Unit Maintenance is another card. You know, reveal 5 cards, reveal up to 1 character or dispatch trailer from among them, add it to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. If you grab the KMF affiliate, you know, you get to choose one of your APs, switch it. You know, that does happen from time to time. And, you know, you got Special Corpse Head trailer. It's an option to use. So at the end of the day, being able to generate the energy it does help out and come up. But, you know, you're going to have to discard cards from your hand, which in this game, you don't want to lose out on tempo. Now, we do have one of the bigger fan favorites, and this is the Hashira deck. So if you guys don't know, the Hashiras have some decent value. I don't know why this card is in here. I get that it's step, but Mortara? Yeah, I don't know why you're not playing a Hashira in that slot, but that's probably personal preference. And then, you know, Inosuke is interesting as well. I wouldn't have expected him in the list, but I get the restand trigger aspect and the double energy, but it could be playing the other Hashira, and this could just be a typo. But, you know, the one that's double energy generator and draws a card, I think. But, I mean, it's personal preference, right? You know, the Rangiku, blah, blah, blah. You know, being able to double block, and if you have these restand triggers go off, it's nasty, right? You know, they are playing a high count on them. So 3, 5, 8, 11, 12, 13, 17 restand triggers, 20 restand triggers. So I kind of get what they're going for, because again, you can let attacks go in. With 20 of them, there's most likely going to be at least 3 to 4 statistically to be in your life, unless you're really having a bad day. But with that, kind of helps, and I get what they're trying to do with the list. And I mean, with the Mitsuru, just being able to kill off 4Ks really does help out sometimes, right? Unless your opponent's on 5Ks, and GG's, good luck. But having the double block and becoming like a 7K body is ridiculously strong, right? Being able to stop plays. And again, there is one more deck that we want to talk about, and this is the Byakuya deck. So this one has been theorycraft by this guy for so long that he has it down to a science, and it's kind of cool. They are playing a high count of act restand triggers to combo in with their Orihime, allowing it to basically block more than once and hit big numbers, because being able to stop most threats at 7K leads to your opponent having a bad day. You know, Tasty Bread just helps boost and applies pressure, but it's also the restand trigger that they wanted. You know, Byakuya Kuchi makes things small. Renji's gonna punch in for face. You know, you got 2 AP Renji, and you got Soifon just being Soifon, really. I mean, she can come up. 35 does hit magic numbers sometimes and just gets in there. But all in all, though, really good event. And as I remember, guys, if you want to live stream on Twitch, this is your chance. This is Union Arena tutorial app. Now, Again, though, Eggman produced a very fine event. We should have one more event to cover before I go on vacation, and just for basically the weekend. I won't have a lot of videos over the weekend for you guys to enjoy, but hopefully this is enough to keep you guys hold it over, and we'll be back once I get back on my birthday. So without further ado, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you next one. Peace.